like searching, like if that website is indeed malicious, maybe searching on the virus total and looking at like details. Don't just figure out on this part, like the vendors part, but look at certain details. So here it actually doesn't say that, okay, it says that, okay, this is business and economy, and I'm not saying any further details, like it might be malicious or not. But from the thing over here, it seems like maybe it is not that malicious. So obviously, thing is that you did a correct thing, that you kind of you figured out those URLs based on certain parameters that we were discussing yesterday. But going forward, what I will suggest is you can also, maybe to add more confidence, try to kind of, maybe as I told earlier, that like getting the reputation checks and the age check, those all things. So you can do that, maybe using the virus total, and get all those information to add further confidence that, okay, is it indeed malicious or not? Okay. So thing is that, let's say for an example, if I go over here to DNS packet, I see that there are multiple websites that for which the systems are querying the IP address, like bing.com or google.com and all. Okay. So what I will do is that, obviously I have shared you guys one of the script, the DNS log script, which you can kind of use to kind of parse the DNS packets and quickly fetch out all the DNS, all the URLs that were kind of queried earlier by this pcap file. Okay. That is one of the easiest way to kind of get all the URLs. The other way you can do is that definitely you can just scroll and kind of get the list of URLs. So like for example, one of the URL over here is the open.b. Okay. The open.b, that is queried by 137. Okay. So if I go to this the open.b, so let me just do it, the open.be. So it says that, okay, the open.b is like, it says one detected file embedding. So there is something malicious over here. Okay. Like two of this antivirus, they're gone. Any questions?
There is one more website like hybrid analysis. There we are getting like more details. If previously this IP has been used for some malicious use, so we'll get the fix hybrid analysis. So I have to using that as well.
Can you just maybe type that out, because I think there's some issues with the noise, with the voice.
Hybrid analysis.
Can you just type it in the chat? I can just catch it properly. That website name. Just type it on the chat window. I'll get the exact spelling also of that domain, so that it will be helpful for me to search for that. So you mean something like hybrid analysis, right? If I captured that properly. So let me see that if that domain is here. Let's quickly see. Hybrid analysis. Okay. Hybrid analysis, do you mean so I understand you mean the website that you can use to kind of scan the website, right? Okay. So yeah, so let me just do that hybrid analysis. And you mean this one, right? Okay, submit the malware and all. I figure out this is the one that you are referring to. Okay. So yeah, you can also drop something over here like the open.be and
But you have to click there, so there is the option.
yeah, I need to fill this out. Yeah, so this is actually one of the really good thing, the habit analysis, and I think the any run is also okay. So this is a any run. So yeah, habit analysis is actually good, and I will say that maybe there's also called as any run. Maybe we can look at it later. Where what it does is also if you drop a malicious payload, it will do like let's say the malware. It will show you as a live like how the malware, what are the things that the malware is doing. It's that also is quite good. Maybe you can also try that. Okay. So yeah, definitely habit analysis is one. And if you see over here in the details of the open.de, uh, let's uh, let's figure that out what Aristotle is about to tell us. Okay. In the details, we see that okay, it is something few malware, few antivirus are tagging that as spyware and malware. Okay. So maybe this might be few like one of the website that is kind of uh, let's say uh, possibly compromised. Okay. Possibly like malicious. So one of the way that I would have approached uh, this lab, if I would have gotten more time, definitely one day is not enough. Is that maybe I would request you guys also to do that. Use that DNS log.py script that I said earlier. Okay, get the list of URL, and then what you do is that you go to the virus total API. Like they already share an API. So in that API, what you do is that once you have the URL, you try to see using the you pass that URL to the virus total using that API key uh, based on the Python script and get the answer from virus total automatically. Like okay, what are the website that are potentially malicious or not, something like that. Okay, so maybe you guys can try that if you get time to kind of invest more time in kind of maybe in this lab and approach that via scripting kind of method. Okay. So that's one thing. Now again, like if I go over here and if you see that in the git log, it has already prepared me the dns.log. Okay. So if I do dns.log and then let's say less, so what I see that I got all the URLs over here. Okay. Then like the first one is DNS, this one, something like this. Doesn't seems malicious, seems like Microsoft one, MSFT. Now going back, if you just scroll down, Bing, Google, this static, if you see over here, then news.co and a smart ad server, the one that you figured out that might be malicious. Okay. Now, now if you see the other URLs like the open.de, and there is one more if you see over here, the DNS query, EPZQI. So this just by look itself, it seems like malicious, right? Because it's kind of like somewhat random. Maybe it is a DJ based algorithm or something like that. So it's so that's another DNS query that was kind of phased out. Okay, is PZQY, and then there is the open.b because we saw that okay the Aristotle was telling that as kind of potentially malicious. So this is one of the URL. Actually, those are like kind of suspicious. So what we need to do is that we need to kind of figure out. We need to kind of what you say maybe this one seems malicious just because the about the naming convention and all. So you can also have some more checks on this URL if it is indeed malicious or what kind of traffic went back and forth once the system was trying to the system made a connection to this EPZQY and try to figure out okay what is the is the traffic that is going back and forth with this website, is it malicious or not? Okay, so this is so there are a lot of things that you need to do. As a hint, I just saw okay that this might be malicious, this might be malicious, and because the reason like why it can be malicious because the random names and all. But but maybe this one also can be malicious. But you need to kind of what you say. You need to figure out what kind of traffic is going back and forth, and then you need to figure out okay if it is indeed malicious or not. Okay. So the one that I would like to highlight is like the open.b and EPZQY. Okay. So going back, so this is again like one of the way by which you can get the list of DNS files made is by reading the dns.log that was generated by the pcap file. Okay, so that's one thing. Now let me just quickly go to that. The domain names are possibly answered and IP addresses. So IP addresses of those domain names you already know that okay. If I go to let's say the open